Hi, I'm Sarah Noble, your host for the Modern Day Intuitive Podcast. For over 25 years, I've been on a spiritual journey, searching, learning, expanding, and growing. I've traveled the world, led by my heart, on a quest to know myself so that I can support others. This podcast was created from my deep desire to help you connect with your intuition and to inspire you to create a life where the impossible becomes possible and you live into your sacred dreams and desires. Thanks for being here and enjoy the show. Hello, my loves. Welcome to the show. So good to be here today with you. You may remember last month we hosted the Intuitive Soul Awakening, which was a 3-part mini course training series that we did live. And it was so incredible that I decided to make it into a workshop that you can access anytime and watch and learn from, go through the video teachings, engage in the ceremony, the rituals that we created for you. It was just so good. I want to gift this to you. So there's a link in the show notes. If you are interested, you can sign up there and download all the goodness that's ready and available for you. So for our show today, Krista is here looking for clarity in her life. She's stuck in a lot of indecision in different areas of her world, and she's finding herself fearing the unknown and sort of shrinking and contracting from life because of not knowing what's going to happen next. So this takes us on a beautiful journey where we look at the importance of slowing down and pausing to allow spirit to come into your life and into all the events that are happening and all your circumstances as a way for magic to find its way into your world. We look at when your children reach an age when things happen to you as a child, how it can be really triggering and bring up lots of old emotions and wounding, and how it's a really beautiful portal to changing cyclical family dynamics and lineage, ancestral wounding. We talk about living your wild life that you came here to live and allowing life to be a mystery that you play with versus being afraid of not knowing and caught up in uncertainty. And then we look at choosing what you love as a tool to navigate the uncertainty that we all face. The only thing we can really be sure of is that things will change. And we know nothing. We know nothing that will happen. And we work so hard to control our world and the circumstances and what's going to happen. And most of the things that we worry about never even happen. And so there's so much precious time, energy, resources that we use trying to control what we have no control over. So my loves, enjoy my reading with Krista. Hi, Krista. Welcome to the podcast. How can I help you today?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I would love some guidance and some help in regards to clarity in my life. Feeling a lot of indecision and a lot of unknown. And I would love any guidance that Spirit has for me in regards to clarity in my life.
Thank you. So what I see is a slide, and there's a little girl playing on the slide, and she's probably around 3 years old. And she's scooting at the bottom of the slide. And I get a sensation in my lower, like in my root chakra, which is connected to safety, the way we live through those first 7 years of our life. And so what you're showing me is that these younger years are being activated right now. The things that are up in your life, the reason that you're not able to make the decisions that you feel you would like to, the reason that you're kind of feeling anxious and confused relate to her and some of the things that happened in your early years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. I have a daughter who's 2.5. And when you said there's a little slide with this 3-year-old girl, I can see her because she's what I see right now. But we are actually working with a parenting coach, and she mentioned that when you have things that had happened to you at certain ages in your childhood, then it can really trigger as a parent these things and this unsettling feeling. And what you said and what our coach said just kind of came full circle. And it's, yeah, wow, that just makes a lot of sense. There was a definite amount of unsettling, ungrounded energy in those years of my life, for sure.
Yeah, and it's beautiful that your coach connected those things for you, because that is a very powerful place for you to come from when you recognize that you are not going to pass these things on to your child. Like, they happen to you, and we tend to cycle, right? And if we're not willing to look at those triggering moments of when our children are bringing those up to mirror for us, we perpetuate what happened. And here you are changing that cycle.
My parents divorced when I was a year and a half. So last year, when my daughter was a year and a half, it was a very hard year for me. I was pregnant as well with our second daughter. And it was probably the hardest year. And now I can see that that's a lot of my year and a half old self reflecting in her. But now my partner and I are deciding when to get married. And I think that's there's a block in my heart around that. And it's starting to make a lot of sense with what you just said. Yeah, that was a bit of an aha moment for me. Heart cracked open over here. Wow.
Yeah. And where do you want to go with that heart cracked open?
I think honestly, just hearing that visual that you got immediately was confirmation and affirmation for me that we're rewriting the story, me and my partner, our family. It's just different, and we get to choose if like getting married is not what it was when I was that age. It's not the ending, it's kind of a new beginning. So yeah, that feels really very powerful. And I think the lack of clarity, when you get married, you want everything to just be just right. I've also been married before, so there's that to overcome. But yeah, just any clarity from your guide or spirit that there's safety in that and there's love, which I already know. But yeah, that it's safe to move forward in that direction. It seems like I got confirmation that we are breaking a cycle. So that's really powerful for me.
Yeah. There's also a sensation of no need to rush things, to allow divine timing to show you what is correct. There's this sense of you really coming home to you, this work you're doing, the way you're rewriting things with your kids. I get the sensation of you solidifying who you are and taking some time with yourself to really know who you are. It can be overwhelming, right? To be a mother, a business owner, future wife. There's a lot of life flowing through you right now. And so taking this time to know you. Who are you today? Yeah. Not dictated by your past and your parents and the relationships that you had, but who are you today and what do you really want? And the marriage will be there. But if you allow space and the divine to guide you, as opposed to you pushing because you think this is what you should do, like it's the next step, right? It's what everybody does. We're happy. This is great. Let's do it. That is a path for sure. I'm not seeing like, don't do that. What I'm seeing though is pause, linger, luxuriate in what you're creating without needing it to be something different yet.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I actually pulled a few cards, I don't know, a few days ago now, and literally every single one was like, slow down, pause, it's okay. And it wasn't in regards to this question, but that is the feeling I'm getting, is that anytime I've made a decision in my life with this energy that I'm holding in my heart, this rushy, pushy, forceful energy, it's never really been everything happens as it should, but it doesn't feel right when it comes from that energy. So I 1000% appreciate that and agree with that. Yeah, like it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. And that, I think, is the unknown of that, is how I feel about so many things in my life. And it's not just this, it feels very unsettled. But then again, that brings me back to this what was I feeling when I was a 3-year-old or a 2.5-year-old? And I'm parenting one now. So everything's just right there for me to see.
Yeah. And what can happen, my love, when you have an unstable upbringing is that uncertainty feels terrifying. We don't have, right, the capacity to just lean into support and trust because we weren't given that. So we are running this more heightened state of being where our nervous system is triggered and heightened because we don't know what it is to just be able to ease into the uncertainty, to look at it like, oh, it's a mystery. I wonder what. I'm curious. Because we grew up like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I listen to podcasts about parenting that align with me, I feel, wow, I don't think I had that. And my parents were wonderful, but they weren't together. So there was so much of that unstable, uprooted energy, especially from years 1 to 7, like you were talking about our root chakra, right? And it's funny, I got a tiger iron crystal for my birthday this year. And that is like the ultimate, this grounding hematite and tiger's eye. And it's just like my partner got me that. And I think he knew exactly what I needed on some deep level, just to ground a little bit and to heal those lower energies in my body, the lower chakras.
Yeah. It's going to be an important place for you to explore as you navigate, right? You have a lot of things. Having children in itself is just uncertain. I mean, anything can happen in any moment with our kids. And then you have a business. And again, anything in any moment there. You have not chosen the structured life. You've chosen the wild life, which is beautiful. Because you want to learn, right? You want to live in the wildness, thriving, instead of with this old programming that's about survival.
Yes, that's 100% true. And something that just came up in my mind as I'm sitting here in our creative space in regards to the wildness and the business and the root chakras. I've recently started doing like some work with money energy, and we're doing it as a family, but I'm also obviously doing it on my own, deepening that connection and my relationship to money. And I know the root chakra and the security and the safety, and it all makes sense why there's these kind of little blocks that come up, and the uncertainty is challenging. And I know, and I appreciate so much that you said you're learning, because that's what it feels like. I'm like a child in school again, trying to learn how to be okay with this path that I chose and I'm so happy on, but it's a lesson every single day.
Yeah. And that to me is the sign of a significant life, a life that's fully lived, one where you're fully alive inside of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, they're bringing me back around to the marriage and this idea that in this time of waiting, to make it really fun. Like, how fun is it to be a girlfriend? How fun is it to be a fiance? Like, don't rush to being a wife because it changes. Right? Like, girlfriend and fiance, it's so fun. And then wife is like, oh, now I'm gonna have to be responsible.
Right. Okay,
so
I could have some fun. That's a good prescription.
Yeah, like play in this place, like,
That's
ooh, I'm the girlfriend. Like, what am I gonna wear? And we're gonna go on a date and like have fun with this period of exploration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I'm a Leo sun, so so playful is my nature.
Yes. I love Leos. I have a lot of Leo friends. My brother's a Leo. You guys have this incredible, incredible
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. I'm very proud to be a Leo. I know everybody says, oh, yeah, Leos are proud. It's like, we'll take it.
Mhm.
We are. That is just so wonderful. I'm so grateful for that guidance. And yeah, in regards to this uncertainty, just I don't know. How does one navigate uncertainty when they're programmed from infancy and childhood to be so, what is it called? Survival mode, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know when a marriage is going to happen or a wedding's going to happen. And I don't know what type of outcome our business will have. And I know that the mystery is there's beauty in that. I'd be curious what comes through for me specifically on how to navigate that.
Yeah. So you're taking me to your heart and the idea of really doing what you love, choosing the moments that you love and really infusing them with joy and happiness and this really beautiful light that's shining. And to use that as your anchor, as your guide when you're in those moments of decision, whether they're big or small, but it's to really come back to this big, beautiful light in your heart and connect with that before you take that step. Even if it's just thinking about what the future looks like. So often we get caught up in the worry of what the future looks like. It's this idea of really crafting it, really intentionally using your heart to allow a vision to unfold.
That's another thing about Leos is that they're very heart-centered. And that's something I have been my whole life, I think, just led with my heart. But it can get really cloudy when the survival comes up, right? It pops into my brain. It's like, oh no, I should logically think this through so I don't get hurt or don't get in a situation that's not ideal. So that reminder of being in my heart is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
And I love your photo. I'm looking at it on our recording here of you with your hands on your heart. And as soon as you said that, it was just like, okay, this feels so good.
Yeah. And then there's going to be some exploration, right, of your conditioning, of the thoughts, the roles, the labels, the beliefs, the stories that were told to you, the things that your sweet little girl made her circumstances mean. And by unpacking those things on mental, emotional, and energetic levels is going to give you freedom. But it is a journey. I have not experienced that we can just wish away our survival tendencies. I've experienced that when I've turned towards them, pulled them closer, and explored them in minute detail, that's when something changes.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because, like I said, I was married when I was really young and I didn't have children in that marriage, but I just did that because I thought I had to, right? Like that's just what you do, the next step. And I remember in that marriage, I would say, like, well, you're my husband, you should do this or act like this or be this or whatever. And that was one big block that came up in my heart in regards to marriage and in this very loving and safe relationship that I'm in is I don't want those programs that I heard as children. You're my husband, you're my wife, you're my whatever, you should. And so that was cracked open, but I think I kind of shut it down and really wanted to wish that away instead of exploring it. There's a lot of discomfort in all of those memories and moments of pain from the past.
Yeah, I was just feeling into what you're saying. And what they're showing me is bugs, different types of bugs. So it's just kind of seeing.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, where's this going? So what I see, right, is like that creepy crawly feeling that we get from bugs. Not everybody, but it's like bugs are actually kind of cool. But if we don't get to know them, they can just be kind of creepy crawly things that scare us. And I think it's like a metaphor for what you're experiencing, right? Those pieces, those parts of you that you're kind of like, I don't want you. But they're actually kind of cool. They're really like amazing parts of you that are highly intelligent. And they really just want your love and attention so that you can repurpose the intelligence that lives inside them to create the life of possibility.
It's really wild. I don't know. You probably didn't see because my shirt's covering it, but I actually have a scarab on my chest, tattooed on my chest, and it's right over my heart. If you can believe it.
Wow.
On the left side, there is a scarab. And I've definitely experienced living out in the country, the creepy crawlers of all the bugs out here. But that's just really wild that there's this bug that is over my heart that,
the bugs are for you because this is the first time bugs have ever come into my reading. So they're for you.
Yeah. I'll gladly take those because that was definitely very personalized. Yeah.
I mean, I get like butterflies and things like that, but not the bugs that were there. It's like interesting. I love it.
Yeah.
Such magic for you.
It's perfect.
Because you are magic.
Yeah. And thank you. Thank you.
Does this feel like an okay place to land today?
That's beautiful. That was a lot in the best way. So thank you so much.
You are welcome, my love. Thank you for being here today and making your personal and spiritual growth a priority in your life. To learn more about connecting with your dreams and your intuition so that you can create a life full of possibilities, visit me at www.sarahnoble.com and see how we can create magic together. A big thank you from my heart to yours for making the planet a better place for us all.